Hello everyone, this is Donna from Even the Scales, and I'm on my channel right now to talk about the abuse that I'm going through from my landlord, St George Community Housing, and the woman downstairs that they're using to put me through abuse. This woman, I made a video about it yesterday. She just never stops abusing me, and she's actually tampering with the air in my home. I'm going to try and make this video not too long, but I have to go through a certain amount of information for people to see what's actually going on here. The landlord, St George Community Housing, has taken a deal with the justice system to put me through abuse, to try and abuse me to death. They took a risk when they did that, and the risk hasn't worked out. They're paying this woman and other neighbours around me to put me through abuse, and it was supposed to be to abuse me to death. And this is because of crimes that police officers and other people in the community have committed here in Campbelltown. It's also because of the Campbelltown police, who are corrupt. It may not be all of them at that police station that are corrupt, but I know that there are a large majority of them are, and I can say that because of the abuse they've put me through over the past 19 months, and as well as the fact that I reported a pedophile to them in 2020 that they never did anything about, and that's because it was all a part of the psychological abuse that the justice system and the health system here in New South Wales have been putting me through for the past 10 years. And there was a lot of people involved in this abuse here in Campbelltown, but because I had to create this channel to save my life, I mean, there's no one else to turn to for help. The justice system was paying members of the community here to abuse me. And it was being done to try and cause me a health episode of some kind. They know I have severe PTSD. The health system have also placed a monitor in my body when I went and had a procedure done last year in early 2024. And that was placed there so that the community that puts me through abuse can actually watch my heartbeat as they inflict cruelty onto me. And the abuse that I'm being put through is extremely cruel and inhumane. I mean, people are going to be shocked here in Australia when the truth comes out about just how severe the abuse is of my human rights and the abuse that I've been put through psychologically and physically, especially by this landlord and the Campbelltown police and these neighbours. This woman downstairs is mentally disturbed. It's easy to see. You've only got to go back on my channel to see that. The proof is there. She has proved that she is capable of murder. She's proved that she's willing to do anything to take my life, and that's because she's expecting a large lump sum of money if I pass away. So's the landlord. Now, it hasn't worked out for them. This landlord has invested years in this. I was placed here in these units here in Campbelltown by St George Community Housing, who gave me this unit back in 2020. October 2020 I moved here. That was the same month that I reported the pedophile to the Campbelltown police. I was placed here because it was all a part of a setup. This unit that I'm in, it's set up with cameras. I know there's a camera in my lounge room, in my kitchen, and in my bedroom, and there may even be one in my bathroom. And I'm just hoping and praying that there isn't. They try and they put me through abuse when I go out. Like, I have stalkers come towards me when I go out that are watching into my home illegally on these cameras, and they will put me through psychological abuse to make me think that I'm being watched in my bathroom. I'm not sure if I am. I mean, maybe that's me just not wanting to face the fact that maybe I am being watched in my bathroom, because, I mean, it's way too late now if I am. I only discovered that there was cameras in my bedroom about 3 months ago, and they would have been there for ages. And, I mean, I knew they were watching me in my living space, but I just didn't think that a landlord would stoop that low, but no, they actually are. This is what St George Community Housing have done, and this is so that they could have control over my life. and they actually take money from people who are viewing into my house illegally to watch me be put through cruelty by the 3 neighbours that adjoin my home and other neighbours around here. Most of the other neighbours are involved in this. There are a couple that aren't, but most of them are, and they all sit back and watch into my home on these cameras, and they watch me be put through abuse by the woman downstairs, the woman next door, and there was a man that lives diagonally to me. He was putting me through abuse every day. He seems to have stopped, but I wouldn't put nothing past him because he's very cruel too, and he's still stalking me. He's still watching me on these cameras. And these people all have mental disturbances of some kind. I mean, he's been a known peeping Tom in the area, the one that lives diagonal, and the landlord has given these mentally disturbed people the tools to put me through abuse 24 hours a day. This woman downstairs, she absolutely thrives off it. It's her life. It's all she does. And what she's doing, it's so childish. This woman's in her 70s. Every time I walk past that window over there, she flicks her range hood on and it's blowing dust down from the roof. And I've put evidence of this up on my channel so many times. I've got that much visual evidence of this woman's abuse. I've also sent visual evidence of what's happening to St George Community Housing, and they just keep prolonging the abuse. They just keep pushing the limit every day, and they're just hoping and praying that this woman can abuse me to death. Now, this is how delusional these people are. Their lives are actually depending on abusing me to death, and they're trying to hurry up and kill me. And what they're doing is they're just putting me through hours and hours of cruel, torturous abuse in my home because of the way that the air can be abused in my home. And, you know, that is one of the lowest things that you could do, is abuse a person's air, their oxygen. I mean, it's the most important thing to life is oxygen. And this woman has abused the air in my home. This woman downstairs, she is absolutely ruthless, and she will do anything to try and kill me. And she works hard at it 24 hours a day. That's all she does. She stalks me on these cameras and she stalks me aggressively. She also, this is for everybody too. Everyone can stalk me on these cameras that wants to go on the dark web and view into my home. There's some kind of bounty. There's some kind of money for the person who takes my life. This is all being done by the justice system and the health system too. It's a huge network of people that's involved in this. My family are also involved in this. They sit back and watch me be put through this abuse every day because they've stolen an inheritance from me, and they also signed up for something with the justice system to be a part of this, where they took money to purposely isolate me and spread lies on my character. The justice system have spread lies on my character. These neighbours have spread lies on my character, and my family have. And that's because there's money in it for these people. And this woman downstairs, she's stalking me so aggressively that they can all see my devices as well. They can see me filming this video now before I even post it to YouTube. This woman, she watches my devices, she watches me on the cameras, and she watches my movements in my home, and she's very calculated. Every time I walk past the window over there this morning, she flicks her range hood on. I mean, this just goes to show how immature she is. And it also goes to show, you know, like, look at the tactics this landlord's using right now. It doesn't even make sense. What they're doing doesn't even make sense. It doesn't. They're just making it worse for themselves, but they're just trying to, what they're trying to do is take my free will to live away. That's what they're trying to do. This woman downstairs and this landlord are trying to force my death, and so are my family. My family have been involved in setups for the past 7 years at least with the justice system and the health system. And now, like, because the truth's getting out and there's been environmental crimes that have gone on here, this landlord is responsible for environmental crimes. They're also responsible for crimes against humanity, because that's how severe the abuse is that I'm going through here. It can be classed as a war crime because that's how cruel it is. And he's doing this, and he's actually, their lives are depending on me dying. That's the reality of it. And it was a risk. They took a risk, but they can't accept that it was a risk. So because they can't accept that it was a risk, they're trying to force my death. Now, just about everyone else has stopped putting me through abuse because I've spoken the truth on this channel, and the truth's getting out, and everyone's finding out that they were lied to. And I think as well, because of how inhumane and just how serious this situation has become, where I actually am crying out for my life on my channel to save my life, and here's this landlord and this woman downstairs and this other woman in the unit next door who are trying to force my death, and they're trying to do it by just trying to torture me in my home. My house has been, my unit here has been turned into a torture chamber. The landlord has rigged the range hoods in my home, in these neighbours' homes, so that everything they put through them gets diverted into my unit. And I'll attach some videos to this one that will just go into everything that's happened here in Campbelltown, New South Wales over the past 19 months as a part of this justice system and health system cover-up. Everything I've been through, I've been put through MK Ultra mind control. And that's what this landlord's doing. This is a well-known housing organisation who is putting cameras in tenants' homes, innocent people who have some kind of disadvantage. And mine was that I have no family. And that's because my family have stolen an inheritance from me. And they've also they've also taken bribes from the justice system, and they've spread vicious lies over my character to do that. So they're trying to force this too. I mean, they're sitting back watching me go through this. They watch in on these cameras in my home. And all these people, their lives are depending on me dying, and I'm not going to die. St. George Community Housing, I don't know, what kind of organisation are you running there? Because this isn't the kind of organisation that, is supposed to be operating in this country anyway. There's rules. And you're not allowed to abuse people to death. You're not allowed to put cameras in people's homes and abuse them to death and try and force their death. You're just not allowed to do that. And St. George Community Housing and this woman downstairs, they're doing this with an audience. And that's because they're willing to take that risk every day. These people must actually believe that if I die today, if they can cause me a mental health breakdown, everything's going to be okay, because the emergency services here in Campbelltown are involved in this. I know that from experience that I've had with them in the past. They're involved. The police are involved. Ambulance drivers at Campbelltown Hospital are involved. Maybe not all of them, but I know of ambulance drivers that are involved in these kind of things. Staff at Campbelltown Hospital, some of them are involved in this. And my family are involved. So, there's no help. There's no help for me to go to. That's why I had to create this channel, to save my life and to defend myself against the vicious lies and rumours that were told over my character by these people. Because they've tried to just wipe me out. They've tried to just pretend that I don't exist anymore, and they're just trying to, it's like literally trying to beat me to death psychologically, and by abusing the air in my home, which is also physical abuse, because of the fact that this woman downstairs and the others that are putting me through abuse, they are watching my heart on this monitor as they carry out the abuse. So it's incredibly cruel and calculated, and everything's premeditated. And this woman downstairs is a paid hit woman, so is this one in here, and so's he. And there's other neighbours here too. There's another woman that lives just over here. She's she's had a lot to do with the abuse too, and the lies that were told. And there's other neighbours that have been being, I don't know whether they get, some kind of rebate on their rent for trying to abuse me to death or what, but they're getting some kind of um, money for doing this. And this woman downstairs, she was expecting a lump sum of money if I pass away. And I don't know if any of you have seen that movie, The Others, like with Nicole Kidman. That's how I've been treated by the whole system. That's how I'm treated by everybody, where I'm treated like I'm already dead. I'm treated like I don't have a voice. It's like I'm being totally ignored by everyone. Everybody was told to ignore me. That was part of the purposeful isolation. All of the essential services that a person needs to live a healthy life in a community have been taken away from me. And that includes the health system, because I can't trust anyone in the health system, because a lot of the doctors and nurses that have been involved in this abuse over the past 19 months. There are people that work in the health system that have been involved in putting me through abuse for 7 years. And I can't trust anyone, because the health system are actually holding back vital information about my health from me, and they're doing that deliberately so that they can try and aggravate those conditions so much that I pass away. And yeah, I'm just being ignored. The leaders here in Campbelltown would have known this has gone on. They've done nothing. They've ignored it. Everyone at St George Community Housing ignores it. Even if I send St George Community Housing emails with evidence of this stuff, of the abuse my neighbours put me through, they ignore it. There's organisations that are involved in this that have stopped sending me emails, text messages, reminders, and things like that, because they're already treating me like I'm dead. My family ghosted me. That's one of the tactics that they're using, and I have damage to my nervous system, the sympathetic nerve system in my body. And when that gets damaged enough, and that happens from people that have been put through a lot of narcissistic abuse throughout their life, your organs start shutting down. But not only that, the health system are holding back information about my health that I should know, like certain results and things like that I should have been told that I haven't been told, or they've manipulated things, and bad advice is being given to me by certain people that work in the health system, and that's been done deliberately. So I've got no essential services here. There's no one to go to for help. Everyone I go to for help, the justice system blocks. And this is happening because there's an abusive cop who has had control over my life for the past 10 years, who has committed violent crimes against women, and they are particularly evil crimes that he has committed. And the justice system don't want that information being made to the public. There's also been people that work in the justice system who have obstructed me from getting justice. One of the examples being the pedophile that I reported in 2020. There's been other reports that I've put into, and they've just been totally ghosted and ignored. And that's because the justice system have made sure that I didn't get any help, that I was just totally ignored. I'm treated like I'm dead by society. And I don't deserve any of this. I haven't done anything to deserve this. It's been done because my family have stolen an inheritance that the justice system have helped them do. And this corrupt cop has had control over my life. And there's also been other people who work in the justice system in my family and connected to my family who have been paid to obstruct justice, or they've just obstructed justice because they didn't want to see me get justice for whatever reason. So that's what's happening here. But right now, the most important thing to me is the air that I'm trying to breathe in my home. And this woman, I just don't know what to do, because she just will not stop. She just believes that she has the right to do this to me, and that's because she's been doing it for so long and because the Campbelltown police encourage her whenever they can. And the landlord is sitting back giving her instructions, telling her what to do. And that must be the owner of St George Community Housing, who is using this woman's mental disturbance to put me through cruel torture every day in my home. Every day I'm forced to go through my home and vacuum. You can probably tell my sinuses, they're just so blocked, and it's severe sinus. So, it affects how I feel every day. And not only that, I have a disability. I have nerve damage to the left side of my body. I'm pretty sure that I've had a stroke in the past, and that's been held back from me from the justice system, that information, deliberately. And they're trying to affect my nervous system in a way so that they'll cause me something like Parkinson's, or just some kind of nervous condition that's permanent. And I mean, I already have that. I've already got damage to my left side, and I have a disability because of that, and I'm forced to have to clean my home every day with the vacuum, like just to make it livable, to be able to breathe properly. Not only that, I'm absolutely traumatized by what these people are doing to my air. I'm so traumatized by it that even if they wasn't doing this, I would probably still have panic attacks at certain times of the day because my body's just so used to having a panic attack from what they're doing. And the fact that this woman's watching my heart on a monitor, and the landlord, it's attempted murder, and they're trying to force murder on me. They're trying to force me to die because they took this risk. And, I shouldn't have to be dragging around a vacuum cleaner every day cleaning my home. I shouldn't have to do that because this woman feels like she has the right to abuse me. And she's just so smug. She's so smug. And I don't know if anyone can imagine what it's like being provoked, 10 times a day, to the point where, of course I'm angry. This woman is she's violating my life on so many levels. She's viewing into my home illegally, stalking me aggressively. She does nothing else but that. Like, she may as well be sitting here on the lounge watching me because she's doing that anyway. Then she's tampering with my oxygen that I'm trying to breathe several times a day, over and over again, and she's violating my body by what she's doing to my heartbeat because I'm traumatized. I go into automatic panic. So it's violating my body, and it's brutal physical assault. It is, because I don't anyone out there that knows what it's like to have a panic attack. It's brutal to go through a panic attack over and over every day. Obviously, this woman's never had one, and she doesn't have the ability to feel anything, any empathy or anything. And, that's a dangerous person. You can see that she's a dangerous person. Anyone that can sit back and do that to an innocent person, that's a very sick, deranged, cruel individual. And that's what I'm trying to make people aware of, and I'm just trying to get help here because there's no one to turn to for help, and the landlord's using her like a tool. And so she's doing all that. Then she's viewing my devices illegally. She's tracking my vehicle, and she's watching my heart on a monitor as she does this. I mean, you can't violate someone's life any more than that, than trying to cause them death. So this is what she's doing. And I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here. The truth's out. St George Community Housing at court. And there's more and more people finding out about this every day. When are you going to stop this, St George Community Housing? And if there's anyone out there that can help me to stop this landlord, please help me. Please help me, because how many other people has he done this to? He's so brazen, and so is she, this woman downstairs. They're just so brazen about what they're doing. They don't care that people are watching them trying to kill me. And that's because there's so many people that have been involved in this. So they just think they're so smug and they can't get caught. But no, you're going to be caught. You're not getting my life, St George Community Housing. You're not getting my life. I'm worth a lot more than what you're worth, because you obviously have no morals. Your organisation is very unethical. You're trying to force people's deaths in their homes. How many others have you taken like this? Innocent, vulnerable people, just because they haven't got help. It's disgusting. It really is. And there's staff that work there at St George Community Housing that help the owner do this. They are very much involved in this. They have been involved in the manipulation and the psychological abuse that I've been put through. I've been asking for help since before Christmas of St George Community Housing to stop the abuse of my air. I mean, these people are tampering with the most important thing. It's more important than gas, electricity, water. If there was something wrong with the electricity, you would have someone here immediately. Why haven't you got someone here to fix the range hoods? Why? That's because he's stuck. This landlord's absolutely stuck. He can't get someone out here to fix them, because then he'll get found out for the fact that he's actually rigged them. So he can't do that. So he's just taking this risk every day to try and force my death. And meanwhile, I'm being put through, unbelievable cruelty in my home from this disgusting woman downstairs who gets a kick out of it. I mean, this woman is unbelievably cruel, and you can tell she enjoys watching me suffer. And that's really scary and disturbing, because I know how aggressively she's stalking me. It's unreal. I've never seen anyone so obsessed with another person in my life as what she is with me. It's scary. She's like one of those stalkers that you do hear about that have taken someone's life, because, she's just so cruel, and she's capable of murder. That's obvious. And that's why the landlord's using her too. And yeah. So I'm in a lot of danger here. So if the leaders of Campbelltown happen to get this information, I'm pretty sure you're watching the situation because of how serious it is, and because of the environmental crimes that have gone on here in Campbelltown, New South Wales, over the past 19 months, 20 months now. I'd really appreciate it if you could do something about this landlord. The Campbelltown Police, when I talk about the environmental crimes, the stalking that's being done, past my house, it seems to calm down when I mention the leaders of Campbelltown. But when I'm being put through this inhumane cruelty, nothing seems to happen. So I really need help here. I need urgent help, because these people are ruthless, and they're trying to kill me 24 hours a day. This woman downstairs is focused on nothing else but trying to kill me. And she's so smug, and she needs to be caught, because anyone that's that cruel and mentally disturbed, they really should be supervised. That she's a dangerous person. Absolutely. Go back on my channel and see what she's done. And if you've listened to this video, thank you for listening. I appreciate the people who have supported my channel too. Thank you so much. You're helping me to get through this. And if you can raise public awareness about this in any way, please help me. I've reached out to people in the public eye for help, but they haven't helped me either. People that usually do help people in these kind of situations, they actually ghosted me too. They pretended that they didn't get my messages, and I sent them many messages for help. So I don't know why that was, whether the justice system told them that they couldn't help me, or whether they were bribed, or whether they were lied to. I'm not sure. But I need help to raise public awareness about this landlord and what they're doing. St George Community Housing, is rigging tenants' homes and abusing tenants to death in their homes for bribes of the justice system and the health system. They've obviously got away with it before because of how they're just so confident about the risks that they're taking now. I mean, here I am pleading for my life on my channel for these people to stop, and they're doing it more. This landlord must be an extremely cruel person, and there's no place for that kind of tyranny in this country, I don't think. I'm pretty sure there's not. I'm pretty sure when you look at the rules and the regulations that this landlord is breaking a great deal of those laws and regulations, and I'm pretty sure when he's caught, he's going to be totally shut down and put in jail for the rest of his life. So yeah, if you can help me, please help me. And this video did go long, but there's just so much to talk about. And, you know, I've probably said most of it before, but this is my life here. And this is my lifeline, is this channel. So every time I have to speak about this, I have to speak about the big picture as much as I can, because people need to see the big picture, to know that I'm telling the truth here, to see why it's all happening. And it just might be the off chance that just somebody clicks on this one video and hasn't seen any of my videos before. You know, then if they listen to a bit more of what's happening and they see the big picture, it might help me. You know, I get sick of talking about the same things over and over. Believe me, there's plenty of things. I'd like to be creating a channel where I can help people, you know, get away from narcissistic abuse. That's my goal for the future, is to do that, to help people to escape abusive relationships, domestic violence, and narcissistic abuse in families. That's what I want to try and do in the future. I'd also like to write about all my experiences, but right now, see, they're trying to hold my life up as much as they can. They don't want me to create that channel. They don't want me to write that book. They don't want me to do any of that because they're trying to hold my life up, and they think they're doing that by, you know, forcing me to have to vacuum every day, forcing me to have to create these videos to protect my life. No, you're not holding my life up. You know why? Because everything that's happening right now is meant to be happening. Even me sitting here having to defend my life right now from you people, it's meant to be happening that way. And that's why I've been able to adapt to what I'm going through, is just by knowing that I have God on my side, and I have faith that you people will be brought to justice. So thank you very much for listening, and yeah, if you can help me, please contact me on the email that will be attached to this video. Have a good day.